I feel like this whole thing is reverse roles, but Kanka, I'm so happy that you're here. And she gives me so much encouragement and strength. So thank you for being here, and I hope I have your blessings for the class. Thank you so much. Of course, Hansapriya has been asking me to give a Sunday feast lecture, and I said, okay, I need much warning and like low attendance day, please. So anyway, I thank you all for coming. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of this ISV community. It's very special for me to be here. And on the way here, I was talking to Malini, and I said, I hope I'm not kicked out after this lecture. So today, thank you for coming. And we will have a lecture from 3:30 until 5, and then we'll have Artik and Prasadam. Anything else? That's the schedule, right? So I want to just thank you all for taking your precious time to come here today. Come to this place, this house that Srila Prabhupada has built. And we're all missing Vaisheshika very much. So we're excited for him to come back next weekend. And first, I just want to start by offering gratitude to my teachers. And I think that you all can take this chance to offer gratitude to the many teachers that have made it possible that you would be here right now. We have so much to be thankful for. So I'm going to open the book. Oh, he has it. Good. Just in case. Offering gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and all of our teachers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Tadati Svaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lautam Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. 3 times. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. That's better. Now we'll sing Jai Radha Madhava. Can someone play Mridanga? Thank you. We're so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada gave us this song to sing and really meditate on Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu, Jaya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Tagora Haribo, 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 Tagora Haribo. Tagore Premanande, Haribo. It's like summertime in here. Feels good. So, I was really thinking of what to speak about, and I hear this come up a lot in devotee communities, and also just in the world in general. There's a balance between feeling regret or remorse and feeling like, oh, I could never be enough, I can never do enough, right? And in some ways, this feeling can be a really good thing. It can propel us on to making change, improving, something to strive for. But I also find sometimes we can get caught in these negative thought loops and feel like we're in regret or lamentation. And Srila Prabhupada has a lot to say about this in the Bhagavad Gita. So our Sunday Feast lecture is a focus on the Bhagavad Gita, and today's topic will be trying to live without regret, so that we can actually move forward in our spiritual life. Okay, good. Did that. I took some notes. It's my first time doing a Sunday Feast lecture after coming for many decades, so I thought it would be nice. Thank you. And thank you. And so I thought, okay, of course, there's many really qualified devotees here, but the thing is about Krishna consciousness that I'm learning is we all have a unique offering. We all have a unique voice. And so I just really appreciate all of you so much and coming here. And I know it's going to be all right. So, but I brought notes just to double check. It's going to help me out. Yeah, I already said that. Okay, so yeah, the Bhagavad Gita, it's such a great guidebook, actually, on how one should live their life. And really, it's a way to let go of a lot of things, a lot of baggage that we don't want to be carrying into our spiritual life, right? We're here in the material world. It's actually the university. It's where we come to get an education, and we come here to learn. And so this is our guidebook, and you can read it again and again and read it with a different group of friends and a different lens and a different angle, and we can get so much out of it. So with the lens of advancing in spiritual life, and everyone's searching for purpose and meaning, and we can really find in these pages of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna and Arjuna, this discourse, it's really evolving into what is the meaning of life and how do I get there, right? Like, how am I going to actually get there? It's actually gives so many practical examples. Oh yeah, that's just what I said. Okay, so the other point is we can read many books, we can have many discussions, and we can memorize and have a lot of knowledge, right? But it's not until it actually enters your heart does it become wisdom. And so this is really what we're striving for in our spiritual life. We can have a lot of knowledge, and some can have more than others. But when it actually becomes wisdom, then we're living it and we're able to practice. And then that's when actually these teachings can open up to us in a very new and practical way. So, I should first say, what is regret? So the definition of regret, I looked it up and I printed it off. Regret is a feeling of sadness, disappointment, or sorrow over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss, mistake, or missed opportunity. Has anyone in here ever felt like they had a missed opportunity? Oh, that's it? You too, right? Yeah, like we've all had missed opportunities in our life. Of course we have, because we're here at the university, we're here to learn. If we just had it all dialed out, then we really wouldn't be here. And regret can be a painful emotion that arises when you wish you acted differently, or when you feel remorse for past actions or inactions. Regret focuses on a poor decision or outcome. So we all have these experiences, right? And some of us can tend to dwell on them more. Some of us can really carry it with us, these missed opportunities, and kind of start beating ourselves up a little bit about it. Like, oh, why didn't I do that? Or why didn't I do that differently, right? As we look back. And so Srila Prabhupada says this regret, or this really dwelling on missed opportunities, it's actually lamentation, right? And lamentation, it binds us to the past. Like it completely holds us in the past. And hankering is something when you're always hoping something in the future, right? So you're really living in the future when you're hankering for something. And you think then everything's going to be all right when I'm hankering. But lamentation and regret, they hold us in the past. So I was digging around the Bhagavad Gita to see, okay, what does Krishna say about regret? So we're going to read Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 47. And I think the important thing about me being up here is to give confidence to other people that have never given a Sunday feast lecture, to show them that they also can do it. So I'm going to read through the Sanskrit and then read the translation. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47, thank you. Karmani eva dikaraste ma phaleshu karachana ma karma phala heturbor mate sangos karmani. Should we do it again? I think we can just read the translation. How about that? We'll read the synonyms. Yeah, the word for word. Karmani, in prescribed duties. Eva, certainly. Adhikara, right. Te, of you. Ma, never. Phaleshu, in the fruits. Karachana, at any time. Ma, never. Karma phala, in the result of the work. Hetu, cause. Bu, become. Ma, never. Te, of you. Sangha, attachment. Ashtu, there should be. Akaramani, in not doing prescribed duties. Translation: you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So I'm going to actually read the next verse as well, and read the purport from that verse. They go together very well. So same chapter, text 48. I'm going to just read the Sanskrit and then the translation. Yogashta kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya Siddha shidyo sammo bhutva sammatvan yoga uchyate yogashta, equiposed. Kuru, perform. Karmani, your duties. Sangam, attachment. Tyaktva, giving up. Dhananjaya, O Arjuna. Siddhi asidyo, in success and failure. Sama, equiposed. Bhutva, becoming. Samatvam, equanimity. Yoga, yoga. Uchyate, is called. Perform your duty equiposed, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practical in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna, or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It's said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as a rule, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay, good. Okay, so this being attached to success or failure, right? Sometimes it's hard in the Bhagavad Gita because you're like, yeah, it's easy for Arjuna. He has Krishna right there talking right to him, right in his ear. How amazing is that, right? And it's easy to know what are Krishna's instructions in that daily life. But we can see that in our own life, we can be really attached to success or failure, whether it's at work, whether it's on a project that we're working on. If you do a home program, right? Or if you do a Bhakti Center program, there's so many ways we can be attached to the outcomes. And when we're really attached, we're putting ourselves in the center because we think we're in control and we have these expectations. Oh, I hope 15 people come tonight, right? And then we feel like maybe it's a failure if not that many people came, right? Have you had that experience? And we can really be attached to how it looks, even how this Krishna consciousness looks in our life, right? Like the situation that we're in. Sometimes people can regret even families that they're born in or jobs that they have, or whatever part of their path has brought them to where they are. But when we're that attached to the situation, then we're actually, what I've noticed is we're putting ourselves in the center instead of Krishna in the center. Because when we're so attached and worrying about how it's going to turn out, it means we think we're actually in control of how it's going to turn out. But when you're really surrendered, when you really are just operating in a way that you're detached from the results, whether it's a success or failure, then you understand and you're just praying to Krishna, whatever you want, however it's going to turn out is the right way. I'm not really in control. What I am in control of is that I can do my best. So I can set up a program, I can invite people to come, and I can have things set up nicely, but I'm not in control of who comes, how many people come, anything like that, right? We can just do our best. And it's the same actually in our material endeavors as well, because a lot of times people have questions, well, how can we put this into our work life, right? And what I found is you just really need to see somehow you're being an instrument of Krishna, whether it's in the workplace or whether you're going to, today we went to go shopping for a truck. And there were so many people, nice people that we met at each place. And the second place, someone was asking about, oh, you're going to your temple after this. What is that like there? And you just realize even when you're going out looking for a truck, you can be used as an instrument and be sharing knowledge with people. And so this attachment, it actually can hold you back, right? Oh, yeah. So, it can get confusing sometimes because people are like trying to have humility and trying to be really humble. And so sometimes in this humility, people can start thinking that they are decreasing their self-worth, like, oh, I'm useless, right? I'm not worth anything. that's not actually being humble. That's kind of beating yourself up. Being humble, it means you don't think less of yourself, but you think less of yourself less, right? You don't think less of yourself, but you think of yourself less. And so I find, for me, like when Hansapriya asked me to give this class, I'd be like, oh, no. But then what I realized is, if a devotee sincerely wants you to do some service, they want you to do something, of course you'll never be qualified. It's not about being qualified. It's just about trying to please the devotees. So if someone asks you to do something, even if you're not qualified, if you just say, okay, I'll try, and I think if you can do more of those opportunities in your life, kind of putting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone for service and just saying, I'll try, it really can help you not be attached to the results, because you're just like, I'm just an instrument for Krishna, whatever the devotees want, really. So that's the nice thing, is we don't always feel like we have Krishna sitting right next to us instructing us, but we do have advanced devotees around us that can be guiding us, giving us instruction. We have beautiful sastras that are guiding us and giving us instruction. And then we also can feel the guidance of the super soul in the heart, and through our chanting and through our meditation, we can also get guidance. Janavi Harrison has this song in English, and she's talking about praying to Krishna, and she says, I didn't know that you talk to me too, and I can hear it in the birds, and she's saying she can hear Krishna sending her messages through many different ways, right? It's not always obvious how it comes, but once you start getting attuned to it, you can hear Krishna's messages and guiding you. And you just have to be a little bit brave and not really think about yourself and your own ego, but just putting yourself out there. So that's one key to not living in regret, is realizing you have had the perfect path to get where you are, to be your authentic self. And you had lessons that you need to learn along the way. And then if you are there, where you are right now, and you're looking back and you're like, oh, I wish I did this differently, or I wish I did that differently, that's your marker that you've actually made advancement. You've actually learned something. Because if you just lived your life and you look back 20 years ago and you're like, perfect, then that means you haven't learned anything. So it doesn't have to be regret. It doesn't have to be like remorse, but like, oh, I wish I would have done that differently. But hey, the bright thing is that means you've learned something along the way. It means you've actually evolved. So I'm speaking from experience, because I really had a long journey with my mind and living in regret and kind of beating myself up and feeling like I couldn't find my place. And throughout my practice, and I also found devotees that helped me kind of work on my mind a little bit and control the mind, it made me realize that we actually need to be grateful for everything that we've learned, and we have to, instead of having regret, we need to transform it into gratitude for where we are. So you guys are all here right now. How fortunate are we to be at ISKCON of Silicon Valley, to be all together. And it's really that gratitude for where you are now, and then looking forward, that can help you get over sort of, oh, I wish I did this different or that. Maybe if you did that different, you wouldn't be sitting here right now in this association with Vaisheshika Prabhu and Nirakula and Kanka. And you don't know. So you really have to be thankful for the association that you have and all of these amazing devotees. So I used to bring this question to my Guru Maharaj, and I would kind of like, I just wish that, I lived closer to the temple. Okay, you guys know for me, that's a big one, right? Like, I always wished I lived closer to the temple. Actually, when we were down on New Jersey Avenue, I only lived 1 hour away. That's the closest I ever lived to the temple, and it was epic. I loved it. I would come on Wednesday nights, and I would come on Saturday mornings, Sunday program. I would go to Vaisheshika's house on Thursday nights. It was so nice to only be 1 hour away. But even then, I was like, oh, I wish I lived closer to the temple, right? And then somehow, Radha Madan Mohan moved further away from where I was living, and then I moved further away. Somehow, it's just what happened. And I've always wished I lived closer. But now, since Todd and I got property and we have cows, I see, okay, I don't think that I would be able to do that right here in Mountain View, right? Like, it just wouldn't happen. I mean, maybe someone has tried to have like the mini cows in their backyard or something. Maybe. But for me now, it's given purpose to all those 20 years that I was driving so far and I was living so far away, and I was feeling like, why do I have to live so far away? But now we feel so great that we have this beautiful service that we're able to give. So it kind of gave meaning to my lamentation all of those years. So you don't really know what the reason is that you're being put in a situation you are year after year. But somehow eventually you'll see it's actually preparing you for something. So I would always bring this question to my Guru Maharaj. I would kind of lament, I'm living far away, my kids can't go to all the programs, all this. And he would be like, you have to live your authentic life. You can't imitate others that are having a different journey and a different path. Krishna wants you to live your life. And although I didn't really understand the instruction as he was giving it to me 20 years ago, right? That's kind of like we can get knowledge. We can hear that. We can hear like, oh, okay, I shouldn't imitate others. Or the other one is comparison is the thief of joy. Maybe you've heard that one. Like if you're comparing yourself to others, it can steal away your joy, right? One thing that I've learned is we tend to romanticize other people's lives and journeys, and we're like, oh, if I only had that, I would have it made. Like, oh, that just seems like the perfect family or job or service. Oh, I wish I could also just be the pujari at the temple taking care of Radha Madan Mohan every single day. That would be so wonderful, right? Maybe we've all had that thought sometimes, like what a simpler life. Has anyone had that thought? Yes. Yeah, right? Like just run away and just live in the temple. Then it would be perfect. But Krishna wants us to all to have our authentic journey, and we actually have to learn the lessons that we're meant to learn. So the next verse I'm going to read, it's based on this. Okay, so this is actually chapter 3, 35, and Krishna speaks completely specific on this and really gives us a lot of encouragement to even stumble along on your authentic journey. You don't have to do things perfectly, and don't be embarrassed too much when you stumble, because Krishna's encouraging us to take our authentic journey. I'm going to just read the translation here. So, it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. So this verse is just really explaining each of us has our own unique path to walk. And that even includes amongst spouses and amongst children. Like we all have our own lessons to learn and our own unique path to walk. And if you try to just, I just want to step in those shoes, then we're not going to be able to actually activate the gifts that we're meant to give to others. So, by proving this point that we all have our own authentic, unique path, I think the thing is we we tend to look at others people's and be like, oh, they don't have the same problems that I have. If I had it like that, it would be so much easier. So I really want to call on 3 different people just to hear a little bit your journey into bhakti, your own unique path, and just some of the challenges that maybe you had on that path. Maybe it's with work, maybe it's with family, maybe it's other things. But I think it's really important to hear people's journey into bhakti so we can see that everyone has their own unique way to get here to Krishna consciousness. And some people are raised even in devotee families, but still they had to have their own journey to actually accept it and take it on and have it become their practice. But I think it's really helpful to hear each other's journey. So I just want to if you could just take 3 to 4 minutes sharing your journey. I'm going to I'm not going to pick on you, I promise. But I just wanted to call on 3 different people that would be willing to share just a brief their journey to bhakti, what brought them to Krishna consciousness, and even if you wanted to say your journey here to ISV, and then just sharing whatever you're comfortable to share. That was part of the difficulty, right? What are some of the obstacles that you have? Because I find sometimes we think we're really unique, that we're the only ones that have this obstacle or that obstacle, but we find everyone has an obstacle that they have to overcome, lessons they need to learn, ways to bring it into harmony with their work life and their family. Is anyone willing to share their journey to bhakti or how they came to Krishna consciousness? Oh, Krishna, did you raise your hand? Perfect. You can start it off. That's wonderful. Thank you. Krishna just came to spend a few nights at Bhakti Farms, and we got to know each other a little bit better, and that was really great. It's nice. Anytime you can take some time to get to know devotees, it's going to really enrich your relationships. So please, thank you for sharing.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So I wrote something for this. So growing up in Ahmedabad, India, every year Diwali meant diyas, firecrackers, new clothes, school break, going to temple with cousins, and everything else, but not devotion and prayer to Lord Ram. All my life I was raised vegetarian because my parents are vegetarian, but I never really understood why, let alone like bhoga and prasadam. And for me, deities were just statues and showpieces like sold at religious places and temples around India. And I thought some of it was kind of dogmatic. And since my roots of Shastra weren't strong, and I didn't understand the true meaning of why we were doing what we were doing, when I moved to the US, I started exploring other cultures, faiths, and philosophy, taking for granted where I came from and all that it gave me. And while visiting temples during festivals was okay for my Hindu family, if I pursued spirituality or make it the center of my life, it was too much. I was told first comes education, then career, getting married, and then in old age when I'm retired comes like religion. And on the other hand, pursuing material pleasures and adopting Western culture were not discouraged. So even though these material pursuits and career and traveling and friends didn't really lead to lasting happiness or true peace of mind. And some of it actually led to more suffering for me. So often growing up in Hindu families, we have some notion of who Krishna is or who Ram is, but we don't truly understand or get to know him as Bhagwan, as the Supreme. And God was always an afterthought. And that is my biggest regret. And I'm deeply grateful to be a part of this beloved community of Srila Prabhupada and Vaisheshika Maharaj. And for the first time in my life, through his devotees and reading his books, I'm learning that Krishna is Bhagwan. So thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing. You know, for me, like coming from my upbringing, it's like I can really say, oh, I just wish I was raised with all of these practices, right? And I can really romanticize, like, oh, Krishna has a leg up. I mean, her name is Krishna. That must be so much better, right? And so we were having conversations. It was like, yeah, but she has her own struggles with that. And her family, you know, had thinking that career was more important, resisting. Like she even said on the drive up, like, no, they said that's for when you get older. Like spiritual life is for when you get older, right? And so it's like I can just look at her and think, oh, she must have had it so much easier than me. And I could wish that I had that. But I think when we hear each other's stories, does anyone else want to share? I'd love to get a variety. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Great. You have a mic in the back.
For me, my life before Krishna consciousness can be summarized through the one verse, Dukkalayam asashvatam. Like, seriously, it was like some upheaval or the other. When I was growing up, I left my home and went to a college, and then staying in the hostel, it was a challenge. Everybody was trying to dominate over me. I didn't like that. I don't want to create any trouble to others, but I also expect the same thing. But in the hostel, in the environment, people are always trying to dominate, always trying to impose their opinion, their ideas. Hey, you have to be like this, you have to be like that.
I'm seeing some people are agreeing with you. Maybe they can relate. Can anyone relate? Yeah, okay, I see.
And then even after going to the engineering college, same thing, They want to impose their ideas. Life has to be like this. So always, parents, my parents never demanded so many things, but, sometimes their expectations bothered me. So to cope up with all these challenges, I said, there should be some way, where I can balance my emotions and my happiness. And I went into spirituality after that.
And
there
how
I
did your
found
parents
solution.
feel about that when you...
Oh, they thought, I'm going to become a monk. They didn't approve. My father was very upset. Eventually, he overcame it. Hare Krishna.
And now, can you share, have they softened a little?
So over the years, they felt that, he's on a genuine path. He's looking for happiness. Initially, that they thought that he's crazy, he has gone into a crazy environment, people are brainwashing him. Now they don't think that way.
Yeah. Thank you. Can we have one more share? Oh, Jai. Microphone over here.
Hare Krishna. My parents took to Krishna consciousness when I was in my 8th grade. So I was the non-devotee in the family. So I didn't want to do this.
Wow.
I mean, I felt they're missing out on the real fun in life. I mean, suddenly they turned vegetarian and they're doing Ekadashi and they're not cooking non-vegetarian at home and they're making me do Ekadashi. I didn't like that. So I was going to school and I was trying my best to find non-prescribed food stuffs. But something in me was telling me, because the problem is when you hear the philosophy, even if you don't want to accept it, it seeps into your system. Like somewhere it comes back to you when you don't want it to come. And so somehow I didn't want it. Krishna just barged into my life. So I just got it easy, so I was taking it very cheap. And I was not following it properly, and my mom was very pissed off with me. And she took her ultimate revenge by marrying me off to Prabhu. And that changed everything, I guess.
Okay. That was the big turning point for you. Oh, I love to hear his story too.
I had the blessings of two very powerful Maharajas. Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, my parents were initiated by him, and Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my husband, by initiated by him. So both the Maharajas, they gave immense blessing to me. So I think Krishna came to my life by this blessings.
Yeah, you didn't have a chance to enjoy materially. No way. Vicky, would you share? Thank you. Nice to get a different perspective.
Thank you for the opportunity. When we moved here in the year 2000, it was a few months before 9/11, and the first thing that my mom said to me is, now we're in America, you have free will. And also, by the time that I started kindergarten, she said, don't tell anyone that we're Muslim, because I was only 5 years old, and she didn't want something that I didn't understand about my identity to affect my day-to-day. And yeah, it seems silly, but even at 5 years old, I thought that we had done something wrong just by being who we are, and I was afraid. But she gave me principles to live by. She just said, you know, God is everywhere, and don't waste food. And I think she raised me with principles that led me to Krishna consciousness. And throughout my life, I went to youth groups, Sunday school, Easter egg hunts. I really loved it, actually. It was so calming. So I had a lot of Catholic and Christian friends, but something still didn't feel right, even though I loved reading the Bible. And I started to really want to retrace my Muslim roots, so I thought I should fast for Ramadan. I have an Arabic name. My granduncle is an imam. And I started joining the Muslim Student Association, and it was so nice to be among people who were eating halal food and telling me about Allah and just sharing their experiences growing up Muslim. And then my mom started practicing Buddhism, and one night someone broke into my car, and I went to her and I was like, I'm so distressed, even though I'm supposed to be grown up now. And she was like, just chant with me. And so we sat down for 30 minutes, and it was a really blissful experience. And I thought, wow, I'd really like to have a practice too. I want structure. I've always wanted some practice that I can dedicate to. I didn't really relate to her spiritual teacher, but I knew that I wanted one. And then Kotsuk Prabhu showed up at my door.
Hare Krishna.
As a result of a Christmas gift. But yeah, in the beginning it was difficult because growing up in America, I always preemptively feared Islamophobia, even if I didn't experience it directly. And I thought that I owed something to both my family and the Muslim community in America. And in the beginning, it was really difficult to think of the form of Krishna because we're taught that idolatry is forbidden, and just to kind of absorb ourselves in the beauty of calligraphy and the formless. And I still think it is beautiful, but I experienced a lot of shame in the beginning of, I don't know if I can do this, and what will my family think? And there was a lot of suspended disbelief in action.
Nice.
And I wouldn't have been able to be here, sitting here, or living in Mountain View without the devotees and without my Sheshika Maharaj and without yourself and all my friends.
Yeah, thank you. That's so poignant to say, you know, we have conditioning. sometimes that we're brought up with. So you brought up, when you're 5 years old, telling everyone, like, don't tell anyone that we're Muslim. Like, that can carry with you. And you don't even realize it's a stumbling block to accepting a spiritual tradition, but it can be there. And that's really deep. And then that you said you use suspended disbelief in the beginning. It's a really important skill to have. I've heard people say, there's certain things we can't understand in the sastra and in the scriptures, and we try and wrap our mind around it, and we're like, really? Like, this seems so wild or far out. But if you can just a little bit compartmentalize it to suspended disbelief, and then say, I like this phrase, why not? Like, why not? Who am I to say I know everything, so I know for sure what is not and what is? And if you can open your heart to more, so it's really beautiful that you went through this whole journey, and it's really brave to come where you are now. And we all see you just embracing this tradition, and you're such a joy to have in our community. So I'm really glad that you were courageous enough to have that suspended disbelief and stick around long enough to dance with us all. Thank you. So I actually wanted to read Srila Prabhupada's purport in this verse, because I think it also will help us reflect on everyone's unique individual path. So the purport, I'll read the verse again. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One should therefore discharge his prescribed duties in full Krishna consciousness, rather than those prescribed for others. Materially prescribed duties are duties enjoined according to one's psycho-physical condition, under the spell of the modes of material nature. Spiritual duties are as ordered by the spiritual master for the transcendental service of Krishna. But whether material or spiritual, one should stick to his prescribed duties, even up to death, rather than imitate another's prescribed duties. Duties on the spiritual platform and duties on the material platform may be different, but the principle of following the authorized direction is always good for the performer. When one is under the spell of the modes of material nature, one should follow the prescribed rules for his particular situation and should not imitate others. I really love that, when one is under the spell of the material modes of nature, right? So when you're really conditioned in the modes, passion, goodness, or ignorance, it's really important to follow the prescribed duties that are for your own nature. And I think the reason is, or else we're suppressing our actual authenticity. And when that happens, when we're actually suppressing our own desires rather than transforming them to become Krishna consciousness, sometimes then they can erupt later, and we can actually not have be healed all of those things we need to move on. If we're just imitating someone else, like, I want to just do that, then later it will bubble up if we repress our own nature. So it's better to just live your own nature. For example, a Brahmana who is in the mode of goodness is nonviolent, whereas a Kshatriya who is in the mode of passion is allowed to be violent. As such, for a Kshatriya, it is better to be vanquished following the rules of violence than to imitate a Brahmana who follows the principles of nonviolence. Oh, this is so good. Everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly. I want to read that again. Everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly. This is a practice. We are practicing and evolving. We're not there yet. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up that you're not there. Just be really grateful you're on the journey. That's the important part. However, when one transcends the modes of material nature and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness, he can perform anything and everything under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. In that complete stage of Krishna consciousness, the Kshatriya may act as a Brahmana, or a Brahmana may act as a Kshatriya. In the transcendental stage, the distinctions of the material world does not apply. And then, Srila Prabhupada's such an example of that, right? I just love how he says, one can do anything and everything under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada was just the perfect example of that, because he literally did anything and everything to follow the instructions of his spiritual master. He really kept the principles, and the details, the little details changed. He would change the little details. He went through so much just so that he would do anything and everything to fulfill Bhaktisiddhanta's teaching to him, his instructions. So, for example, Vishvamitra was originally a Kshatriya, but later on he acted as a Brahmana. Whereas Parasurama was a Brahmana, but later on he acted as a Kshatriya. Being transcendentally situated, they could do so. But as long as one is on the material platform, is anybody still on the material platform out there? Anyone? Okay, me too. Then he must perform his duties according to the modes of material nature. At the same time, he must have a full sense of Krishna consciousness. So, if you're out there and you're working a job, and that's your prescribed duty, and you're a mother, or you're a daughter, or son, we have these material responsibilities, and we're on our path, but we have to be in full sense of Krishna consciousness. So we always have to keep that in mind. And I also wanted to share, so once you get to that point, there's so many examples in the scriptures and with Srila Prabhupada where they're praying, whatever you want, Krishna, full surrender, I will do it, right? And we have so many wonderful examples of that. I've been reading Madhya Lila. I don't know if you listened along to Vaisheshika reading Madhya Lila, but wow, I love this book so much. So I just wanted to give one example in Madhya Lila where we have a great example in the discourse between Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya, right? And Lord Chaitanya just keeps asking him to go deeper and deeper into the philosophy. And he's like, no one ever asked me all these questions. They never asked me to go further, right? But Lord Chaitanya is just relishing hearing this discussion. And I think we're so lucky that we have Vaisheshika's recording, reading this discussion. It's like we can relish so much in hearing him. And so then in Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 132, finally Srila Ramananda Rai said, I am just a dancing puppet, and you pull the strings. Whichever way you make me dance, I will dance. My dear Lord, my tongue is just like a stringed instrument, and you are its player. Therefore, I simply vibrate whatever arises in your mind. And we heard Srila Prabhupada also use this, that he is a puppet, right, when he was on the Jaladuta. And this is what we're striving for. This is how we actually feels like to put Krishna in the center and not ourselves. And so we can't lament that we're not there yet. We just know we're so blessed to have the association through books and personally of these examples. There's so many examples that we have. And so when we read these books in Srila Prabhupada's translations, it just becomes completely illuminated for us. And, oh yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to say one more thing and then open it up for questions, if that's okay with everyone. So I find a lot of people that I talk to, and myself as well, they struggle to deal with things that are holding them back. And a lot of times, trauma is this word that is very popular now. And we all have sort of things from our childhood or our past that we feel could have been unfair or could hold us back. And there's this book by Oprah Winfrey and this doctor, I forget his name, Jeffrey something. But in that book, instead of calling it post-traumatic stress, she calls it post-traumatic wisdom. So I think if there's anything in your life that you feel like was unfair, or why did I experience that, but as soon as you learn your lesson from that, then you have all the wisdom that you had to go through, and then you'll have more empathy for other people that might be experiencing that, and you can help them as well. So if you had parents that were very controlling and, had their own plan for you, gave you so much structure, you didn't have any choice in the matter, then you can help guide others that you meet that are now experiencing that, right? So things that were unfortunate for us, or we feel were unfortunate, but now you got through it, you're where you're at, and you have the wisdom that you can share with others. And everyone needs their own unique wisdom. Like there's variety in the spiritual world, and it's a beautiful thing. So we shouldn't have shame at all of anything that we've been through or where we were, if you can heal it, because then you have a special gift to share to others and encourage them. So although it might not look how you want it to, usually doesn't, but then you have your own unique wisdom to share with others. So that's what I have to give to you guys. Hare Krishna. So, thank you. Okay. I also just really thank you. I want to thank you all so much for this community. I just feel so incredibly blessed to have been a part of it for as long as I have. It's like the greatest gem. And so I just want to thank you all for accepting me as I am. I appreciate that. So Kanka, you had something.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for such a nice class. And yes, Prabhupada said one thing we shouldn't do is hanker or lament. Hanker for what we don't have or lament. And you can see in Srila Prabhupada's life that he was so patient and so persistent on following his Guru Maharaj's instructions, even though he had so many setbacks. Like he had to sit for 5 hours at Sumati Maharaji. She said, "No, Swami, you cannot go to America. It's too cold and you're too old." Can you imagine that? So for 5 hours, he sat on the front steps. So we can see in our own lives how we have to be patient and we have to be persistent and we have to, like you said, be grateful for even little things. Like we all have running water in this country. We're so lucky we have running hot and cold water. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. Yes, it's amazing. So I just want to thank you, and this was real inspiring.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you for bringing that up. During Kartik, sometimes I was just singing the Damodarastakam prayers alone, right? And I was feeling like really lonely. Do you ever sing the Damodarastakam prayers like alone? Have you ever done it? Yeah. Feels lonely, right? And I was kind of having a pity party for myself. And then I was thinking of Prabhupada. And I was like, he was here in New York, in the Bowery, probably singing the Damodarastakam prayers alone. He did so much alone. And I was like, I'm complaining about one night being alone. And, I had a recording. I was actually listening to the Bhakti True Swami recording. I love that one. It's so joyful. And I was like, I feel alone? Are you kidding me? And I feel like there's so many things that Srila Prabhupada went through. And we can always feel like, wow, he went through that. I'm just nothing. I'm going through nothing. It's always nice to have those examples. Thank you.
Does anyone want to hear about the American journey? As a child, I was raised as a Catholic, and the priests and nuns were very close to my family because my dad was their doctor. And I used to ask the priests, so if you want me to love God, who is God? How can I love someone if I don't even know who he is? And the priest used to say to me, you just have to have faith. But all the time growing up as an American girl, I thought, no, I need more than just faith. I need knowledge. I need to know who is God, where does he live, what does he look like, who are his friends, how am I ever going to find that out? And I used to pray to Jesus, please, please help me find this out. Let me know. And yes, of course, I went through all my teenage years of up and downs and traveling and blah, blah, blah. But I was so grateful when I finally found Srila Prabhupada, who told me who God was and what he looked like and who his friends were. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. You have something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the wonderful class and very appropriate verses from Bhagavad Gita. It was very joyful. I have a question because you are doing the project on cows, protecting cows. How did you get the inspiration to do that? And how did you get the courage to do it? Also, how did you learn that this is your duty and you are not imitating somebody? As you said from the verse, we should not imitate somebody. Oh, they are doing great. Why don't we start one? So if you could share something. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy that Todd is here today, my husband, because he was a big part of this journey. We had traveled around going to different temple communities, and always we were really attracted to caring for the cows, right? Actually, I was a vegan. I was like an animal rights activist before I met the devotees, and then I was a vegan until I met my first cows, and then I was like, oh man, I just loved being near the cows, and it's really beautiful to actually see how much they give and their energy. They're just so giving. So I was really transformed. I felt my heart softening. I was really interested in caring for other living beings and kind of giving a voice to the voiceless, right? But it was kind of an intensity about it. And there was definitely anger mixed in, angry at the material world and how they're treating animals. But when I first came in contact with the cows, and it was softened me, right? And we both just loved that. And actually we went to Vrindavan together, and we loved the Goshala there. That was always our attraction, was going to the Goshalas wherever we were and spending time with the cows. I could have been really attracted to sitting in the classes or memorizing scripture, right? I could have gone so many directions when you're traveling like that. But we were always hanging out with the cows and just loved it. That was in 97. It's a long time ago. And then life just went on, and you get married, have family, a business, and it kind of became like, we don't know if we'll ever work with cows, but we always loved it, and we had cow art in our house, and we just loved all the sweet stories of Krishna and the cows. And I always knew it was a part that softened my heart rather than kept me rigid. And so we just kept on, and honestly, like the dream, it became like a real dim light. Like I kind of pictured myself, if I had a lot of dreams or things I want to do, aspirations in a room, it was like one little candle just barely flickering in the back, just burning kind of dimly, like this dream of having cows. Because you're in California, land is so expensive, and also it's a lot of work. It's actually a lot of hard physical work. And so it kind of became this, like, we don't know if we'll ever do it, but we would always visit, like, Gita Nagari, and we went to Alachua. We would always visiting the cows when we went, right? Someday. Finally, we got to a position where we were looking for property to have a homestead. So we kind of always knew we would have a homestead. Trees, fruit trees, land. And we really wanted cows, but it's like, you don't really know. But when we were looking, we were like, okay, we have to find land that would be good for cows. It has to have water, like it needs a good amount of water. Cows need water. It needs fresh air, not like we didn't want to be next to pesticides and next to highways, because a lot of the agricultural land is like next to pesticides. We wanted to have hills so they could have like hills to climb and go down in variety. Trees, shade, trees so they could scratch their backs on and everything. And so we just were starting to look for property. And in our minds, we really wanted it to be good for cows. That was our whole thing. It was like, let's just see what Krishna arranges. And so we found property that would be good for cows, right? But then we're like, okay, we don't know if we're actually going to get cows. But we just kind of always kept it there. And then, just at that time, ISV was getting ahimsa milk from another farm, and they decided to discontinue their program. They stopped doing ahimsa milk. And so Suryakund was like, okay, we need you to get cows. Can you do that? And we were like, we don't know if we're ready. It's a big responsibility, and we don't even have the barn, and all these things. And then Vaisheshika Prabhu said, we would really like you to get cows. Do you think you're ready for that? We were like, okay, we better get ready. So with encouragement, and honestly, I think it was just all along, we really want that. We have a nature to be like out on farms. We always worked on farms and things. And it's definitely just our nature to have a business and work with farms and all of that. And somehow Krishna just arranged beautifully that at that time, at the perfect time, and with Vaisheshika's mercy, and with Suryakund's encouragement, regular encouragement, as we were, oh, we're not ready. He's like, are you ready yet? He kept encouraging us. And then we finally took all the steps, but we still didn't feel ready. It's like a lot of responsibility, and we didn't feel qualified because we didn't know enough, right? And it's like, oh, we don't know enough, and what's going to happen if something goes wrong, or how do we know we can maintain this commitment? So we were definitely still putting it off. But finally, we just decided we'll never be ready. Like, we'll never be ready. Let's just do it. We know, and it really is that leap of faith that Krishna will provide. There is a leap of faith. Krishna's in control. I'm not in control. Krishna wants us to have cows. Vaisheshika wants, let's do it, and then we'll learn. And we're diligent. We know we have the bases ready, right? Like we had all the exterior fencing ready, and we finally built the barn, and you had the extra water storage tank, all the basic things. but we actually didn't have we had the barn, but we didn't have a cow shelter yet, like a shelter for them to go in the rain and when they have babies. But we were like, then there's always going to be another thing. So we just were like, we're going to do it. So we did it. We got the cows. And then we've seen, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, only by their mercy, then we're able to do it. And it feels like such a wonderful daily service to have. And it's actually bringing meaning to all that we've done up until now. It's like, oh, okay, like it was preparing us for this. And so I don't think you really ever feel ready, because there's always one more thing that could be a little more perfect, right? Like this is the mood of always room for improvement. But at some point, you just got to have that faith that I've done all that I can, and it's going to work out. And so I think that was really knowing that Vaisheshika really wanted it to happen. And honestly, all of the devotees here, we feel like we've been really supported and encouraged. And now more devotees are starting to come out and appreciate the land and really have nice bonding times with each other. And it just feels like you could have everything set up, but then, oh my gosh, it just takes it to the next level when actually you're able to bring enjoyment to the devotees and that they're able to experience spending time with the cows, cuddling cows, laying down with cows. Krishna napped with cows. So I feel like just to be able to provide that experience for devotees, it just makes it all worth it, all of the works. And we know somehow, actually this summer, Todd and I were on our own. We had no help on the farm for about 2 months. And it was like a lot of work. It was really intense because, you're milking in the morning and then in the evenings you're adding on an hour to an hour and a half every day, and then delivering and what to say, all the other care that the cows need. And then Krishna sent a new devotee through this community. His name is Art, and he came to live there. And then he sent another devotee, Megan. She came to live there. And then we have another person living there, Nick. And now all of a sudden we have 4 people living there. We're like, we're full. And it's just like with our prayers. And I think we have more gratitude because we had those few months on our own. It's like, wow, now we have that gratitude. So Krishna always provides in mercy of Guru and Gauranga when it's meant to happen. But how do you know your nature? It's like, Todd always says, if I went to work, because people come out, they're like, how did you learn all this? How do you know how to do this? And it's like, if we went to your computer programming jobs, we would be lost, right? Like, there's no way. So you can kind of feel your nature a little bit. And if you don't really know what it is, then ask people that you really admire or ask people that really know you. We've heard a lot of people say they want to have a Goshala, right? And it's like, do you really? Like, come spend some time and make sure. I think it helps because we had the experience living on other Goshalas. Then you really see what it takes. Thank you for asking, Prabhu.
I just want to say that the cows that Yamuna and Todd have raised and have gotten were really skinny and dirty and sad when they first got them, and now they look like show cows. They're beautiful. Even the man they bought them from brings his daughter out there quite often, and he said the same thing. He said, "How did you do this? They look like show cows." And it's the care they're given and the love, and of course they hear chanting of Hare Krishna all the time.
Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah. We have another question or comment? Oh. Okay. Do you want to say it again? It's an easy question. How do you get ahimsa milk? Suryakund Prabhu? I actually also created just a Google form to have waiting lists so we can just organize who is on the list. So I can just put that out after, and it's just, you can scan it. That's the best way. It's part of the program here at the temple. In Suryakund, I'm just so grateful. He's been really passionate about this program for a long time, and we're just so thankful that you really, you kind of kept pulling us along, like, come on, I think you're ready. Are you ready? You better be ready. We really need ahimsa milk. And I do want to say, most of the devotees have said, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but that this milk is much better quality than previous farms' ahimsa milk. And I just think it's because it's all under the umbrella of ISV, and it's really like Vaisheshika's desire and Nirakula's desire, and then we're all able to be under that umbrella together. And we do give them a lot of love and a lot of vegetables and scones that we bake for them and hugs. So they do get a lot of love as well. So I can put up the waiting list outside, because we would love to expand the program for sure. We have the ability to do that. Any other questions? Okay, so, I wanted to say one other thing. Part of my story, and I wanted to bring the book because I just love this picture of Prabhupada, and I love this book. This was the first book that I got. I was studying revolutionaries at the time. I was in college, and Ishwarya Prabhu, wherever you are, it's the Ishwarya Prabhu from London. I was in Balboa Park, and I met him, and he was talking to me. What are you into? Oh, you're studying revolutionaries. And he was like, this is the revolutionary that you need to study. And he gave me this book. I bought this book. And I just love this small Prabhupada book. And look at that. I just love that picture on there. And it says, he built a house which the whole world can live in. And this is a condensed version. And so I wanted to bring it today to have courage sitting there, Srila Prabhupada sitting there, but also to feel like, yes, maybe when I got this book, I made some choices that I would have done differently. But how nice, like I look at this book and I think, okay, I've come a little way from the time that I received this book in my hands, and it feels really, really good. So thank you, Ishwarya Prabhu, for finding me out on the streets. And incidentally, he was visiting ISV when I installed my Gaurani Thai deities at home, and Vaisheshika and him came to my house to install my Gaurani Thai deities 21 years ago. And that was so amazing that he was there at that time to install my deities. So, this book is amazing. I love this book. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Haribol. Now we'll have Artik. Yeah. Okay, thank you all. So we'll now do the magical transformation of getting ready for the Artik. How lucky we are to be here for Artik. So thank you.
Hare Krishna. I have a quick announcement. There's a car in front of the gate blocking. It's a kind of a risk, and there's a car that has to go out. If this car belongs to you, please move it, and please avoid parking in front of the gate going forward. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Her Grace Yamuna Mata Ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Everybody please stand up and put back all the asanas. And someone please turn off the light. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी पचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jai Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jai Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Sri Radhe. जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजक चर्च अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभयचरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की हिमाचल हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवाश्री गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा मैया की जमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्री तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन शुभ संध्या आरती की जय गुरु प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। सब आप लोग बैठ जाइए, प्लीज सिट डाउन। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलाद लाददायिने प्रहलाद लाददायिने हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कनखालये शिलटङ्कनखालये तो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा बाहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमलाभरे नाखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे, तब कर कमल भरे नख मद्भुत श्रृंगार, दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा, ईशावधृता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय केशावधृता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय केशव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव। जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज। प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय श्रील प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।
Hare Krishna. Everybody please take your seats for 2 minutes. Can we have our lights back on? So we're going to have prasadam prayers, and after that we can go for prasadam. But before that, we'll have just 2 minutes of small announcements. Nothing big. First of all, let's thank you for our kirtaniyas today, led by Vishwapati Prabhu and followed by Radha Vallabh Prabhu. Let's all give them applause for leading such a melodious kirtan. And of course, how can we forget our speaker today for speaking such beautiful topic about living without regrets, and also sharing her journey and how she is taking care of the cows. Her Grace Yamuna Mataji. So let's give her high bowl. And of course, we have our broadcast team who has recorded all this and made available on YouTube for you to go and listen back if you missed it. So let's thank our broadcast team led by Charunimai Prabhu and Ramanand Sak Prabhu. Hi, Bol. Yes, and do I see any new faces in the crowd right now? Are there any newcomers to the temple? Yes. What's your name, Prabhu? Umesh. Umesh, welcome to the temple. If you have any doubts, any questions regarding the temple or programs, my name is Nikunjanayak Das. I'll be here in the temple. You can ask me any questions. Let's all chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for Umesh so that he keeps coming back to the temple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare. Yes, and also we have, yes, Mati. First time in the temple? Of course, another round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Shakti. Welcome. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And also we have 2 birthdays this week. On Friday we had birthday of Hansapriya Mataji. And today we actually have birthday of His Grace Shyam Bhakta Prabhu. So, yeah, wishing them a very happy birthday, a very happy Krishna conscious journey coming ahead in their life. Let's all pray by chanting 1 round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, we have Sunday feast today, but I didn't get any sponsor list. So if you are a sponsor and you're in the crowd and I missed your name, please raise your hand. No, okay. You are the sponsor, Prabhu? But we missed you. Yeah, would you like to say something? The reason for your sponsorship?
So hi, Hare Krishna everyone. I and my wife Sharanya, we had our anniversary on October 30th. So we wanted to do a Sunday sponsor and we just donated. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi, Bo. Yes. And yes, before we move to Prashant prayers, of course we have our cooks. Even without sponsors, we have cooks, which makes the Sunday feast possible. So let's know who cooked for our Sunday feast today. So you're going to announce, Prabhu? Yes.
Hare Krishna. My name is Jay. Today I'll be announcing the cooks. So the head cooks are Achyuta Chaitanya Das and Manjari Gopika Mataji. And the cooks are Kanaka Manjari Mataji, Arun Prabhu, Anil Prabhu, Rishi Prabhu, Ruchi Mataji, Ravi Prabhu, Tadiya Seva Prabhu, Colored. Wait, Prabhu, could you help me? Colored Harp?
Kalandar Prabhu. Yeah, it's not.
Kaladar
Prabhu.
Kaladar Prabhu, Anusha Mataji, Piyush Prabhu, Prachi Mataji, Sugnanya Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji, Prajakta Mataji, Rima Mataji, Abhay Prabhu, Mayura Mataji, Jyotsuna Mataji, and Aditya Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, so with that, we're going to lead to Prasadam prayers, and after that, you can have some church Prasadam. And again, thank you everyone for coming here. You all make a big difference for our program here. Please keep coming back, and we'll be happy to see you again.
Sharira Vidyaja Jodendriya Tahika Jive Fele Vishaya Sagore Tarmadhe Jivayati Loba Moy Sudurmati Take jeta katina samsare Krishna bado doyamo Kori bhare jiva jai Swaprasad anna dilo bhai Se annamrita pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dhako Shri Chaitanya Nita Preme Dhako Shri Chaitanya Nita Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishvaso Navajayate Prasade Sarva Dukanam Hanirasho Pajayate Prasanna Cheta Soyashu Buddhi Paryavatishtha दुष्टतिद्वायोपभुक्ता षड्गन्धा स्वासलङ्कारचर्चिता उच्छिष्टभोजिनो दासास् तावमायं जयमहि शुष्कं पर्युषितं वापि नीतं वादुरदेशतः प्राप्तिमात्रेण भोक्तव्यं नात्र कालाविचारण न देशनियमस्तत्र न कालनियमस्ततः प्राप्तमनं द्रुतं शिष्टैर्भोक्तव्यं हरिणो ब्रवीत् Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasadam ki. Please come take prasadam. Hare